Done, friends. Actually, we had a small problem with the live actually. Everything is fine, no issues. Everything is fine. Yeah, I think, yeah, we're good to start now. I'll minimize my screens. Yes, we can start. Well, friends, so here we go. Let's start our session. You see my screen, everyone? The Excel file, please let me know. My Excel file. You are able to see my Excel file, please. We'll start our solution class now. Yep.
Sir.
Perfect, perfect. Yes, friends, attendees are accessing the video live on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn. You may be in listen only mode. If you want to have like interactive mode, please join using the Zoom link that was sent to you. I repeat, attendees are accessing this class, live class from YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn Live. If you want to have interactive mode, please join the Zoom call. Let's get started, friends. Let's get started. So here it is. Let's get started straight into our interview question answers. As a part of our series, the daily interview series, we need to have answers for the questions from day 22. So we initially started with SQL, few days, and then we stepped into Azure. We did one solution class before last weekend for Azure, and this is the second one for the remaining items. Because we couldn't have the solution class last weekend, I'm including all questions last week and this week together. Let's get started. Yes, friends, any idea what's the main purpose of Databricks? What are your points, please? I'll wait. Yes, please. What are your points now? What's the main purpose of Databricks, please? I'll wait. Yes, please. Any idea, please? Mic with everyone, first. Ashwin, David, others, please. I'll wait. To perform. Yes, please, to perform. ETL, right? Isn't it? ETL, data warehouse, and data science operations. If you log into the Databricks portal, you see the highlighted features ETL, warehouse, and data science with big data analytics. Difference, I mean, what's the relation between data science operations, data engineering operations in Databricks portal? Both use same workspace. Both these operations use same workspace and same Spark cluster. It can be either a job cluster or all purpose cluster, right? Either of them. And not only that, here it uses PySpark, for ETL, ELT, and machine learning activities. Okay, so this is the actual relation. The platform remains same. Next, I'll put this way. Then what kind of data we can store in DBFS, please? Any pointers? Yes, what kind of data we can store in DBFS, please? I'll wait. Yes, please give it a try. No problem. It's files and tables, okay? Files and tables. I'll put this way. Files and tables is the answer. Practical limitation of DBFS. No end user prompt for ETL parameters. We have widgets, but widgets are within the notebook only, not for end user prompt. There's a main practical limitation of DBFS. Next, cannot connect to local or on-premises SQL databases directly until or unless you have something like 5TRAN or any other external connection agents. If it is, for example, ADF, Azure Data Factory, we have self-hosted IR, right? But here it's not the case. Next. Okay, then we have other one. This is the practical limitation. Then we have other one. Role of Hadoop. It's actually not Hadoop. Sorry for the type, it's Hadoop. In Databricks storage system. Here it is. Hadoop provides the actual storage layer with automated data recovery and security. It is Hadoop file system stores the DBFS files, Parquet tables, as well as Delta tables. Okay, all these will be stored in Hadoop itself, and we can access this storage by using the catalog window or catalog explorer in DBFS workspace. Any questions here? Let me know, please. I'll wait. 1 to 5. Any questions, please? Let me know. I'll wait. Fine. Next item. Then we have the next one. What are the practical use case scenarios to use Spark database? Used to store aggregated data and used to store incremental data, of course, and historical data. And this aggregated data is mainly for faster, easier analytics. The practical uses of Spark database. Again, there are some limitations with Spark database. We cannot implement dynamic row level security. Okay, unless we have third party apps or connections. That's the main difference between Spark database and Synapse SQL database or Azure Synapse database. Security, row level security is the main concept or the main difference. We cannot implement stored procedures easily as compared to compared to Azure Synapse or Snowflake or Amazon Redshift, etc. When you compare with other warehouses. Same way, other one. How to implement row-level security in Spark database. Here, remember, usually we can use views to implement row-level security. Okay, but in Spark, to implement RLS, we need to create custom PySpark functions. Okay, unlike regular databases that can be implemented, that can be used to implement RLS. If it is Spark database, it's not possible to do it directly. So we have to go for custom made PySpark or even Scala functions, either of them. Next, what are the various use case scenarios to use Spark tables versus Spark views? Here it is. Spark tables are used to store aggregated data and incremental data, whereas Spark views are used to cache the data, are used in conjunction, or used in combination with data frames for transformations. So tables for actual data, views are for transformations. Sorry for the typo, it should be transformations. Like this. Next. Then we have how to analyze the data in Spark database using notebooks and also using JDBC connectors with Power BI. So in our Azure course curriculum, we learn how to use Spark database with JDBC. It's nothing but the Power BI connections. Using Power BI connections or notebooks, these are the two different options. Day 23, please go through it carefully. Any clarifications on these questions, please let me know. I'll include these items in our ALG anyway. I'll do. Yes, friends, any questions, please let me know. I'll wait. Fine. Next comes day 24. Here I was posting few important questions. What's the practical use of Synapse Analytics resource? Yes, the Synapse Analytic resource is mainly used to, number one, host Azure SQL Server, used to perform ETL operations, and used to perform data warehouse activities, and also used to perform big data analytics. Observe carefully. These are the main purpose of Synapse Analytics resource. Okay, next. Then we have how do you execute pipelines in a Synapse Studio? Yes, from Synapse Studio, there is no author button, right? There is no direct author button. Go to develop, integrate, and then design or open the pipeline. Then we need to trigger. Okay, so integrate is the main keyword here. Next. Then other one, limitations of ETL and ELT pipelines in Synapse Studio. Limitation is flexibility. The ETL and ELT pipelines are not as flexible as notebooks for customization activities. For example, pipeline fails. You would like to get an email automatically. Those kind of customizations are not possible in pipelines as compared to notebooks. Notebooks are very flexible. Next, one more thing. Pipelines cannot be used to analyze the data, but notebooks, we can happily analyze the data for every cell. There are no controls in pipelines to analyze the data. We have it only for notebooks. Next. What are the limitations of self-hosted runtime? Okay, here it is. In Synapse Analytics pipelines, there is a limitation of self-hosted IR. Very simple and straightforward. Here we go. We can configure only one IR per machine. We are talking about self-hosted IR. And this will be a great limitation when working with multi-domain systems or multi-domain data centers. Recently, I came across one particular vendor wherein they have almost 7 different domains they need to work with. They have Far East domain and Singapore domain separately, and they have Middle East domain, they have Dublin domain, etc. They have different domains. One of the e-commerce client, because we do consulting activities. And there came a problem because self-hosted IR can only connect to one particular domain machine at a time. I mean, there is no option in self-hosted IR to register extra servers. If you check other tools in Azure like Sync Agent, if anyone from DBA, Database Administration, DP300 certification, there's something called Sync Agent, Data Sync Agent. It's a tool. I think right now it's 2.0. Data Sync Agent 2.0 is the latest version. It is used to sync multiple servers. You can register multiple servers, one Oracle server, one SQL server, one Sybase, one IBM DB2. Multiple servers can be synced with an on-premises or Azure SQL database environment. It's a part of my AWS with SQL Server course as well. But this flexibility is missing in self-hosted IR as on date. Hence my question here, in case anyone into architect level or lead level interviews or any such kind of senior level implementation items, good to have this kind of comparative journey, same, to have quick and easy decisions. So you can ask me, Sai, what's the alternative for this? Linked servers. We need to link or get all links from other servers to one single SQL server, linked server, and that SQL server you have to simply register in self-hosted IR. I mean, indirect connections. Next, how do you integrate CI/CD with Synapse Analytics? I'll have a nice video explaining these items carefully, step by step. I'll say, please refer to the video, or I shall post the video for this. Okay, after the class today, I'll do. I had a video for this wherein how to integrate your DevOps account with Azure Synapse. Very simple and straightforward. Go to Synapse Studio, and there you have something called version control. In earlier days, we used to see version control. And now you see something called as code control in the home page. In the home page, you see version control or code control. Or go to left side manage. There you see Git configuration. Any of them you can use. So in Synapse Studio, you see left side manage option similar to Data Factory Studio. There also same thing, manage and Git configuration. This option works. Any questions here, let me know, please. I'll wait. I repeat again, attendees who logged in from Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, for some reason, yes, you can log in using the Zoom Meet link you see in the description box there for live interactive class. Or you can continue to stay back there as per your requirement or as per your need. Any questions here, let me know, please. I'll wait. Fine, let's continue the next one. What are the practical uses of Synapse resource? I think it's repeated actually for some reason. Well, let's continue. Yes. How do you supply parameters to SQL pool stored procedure? Define connection. Define connection to the Azure SQL pool in which SP resides. Okay. Once you define the connection, create a pipeline parameter. Link it to SP parameter in the SP activity. This is a process. So define a pipeline first, pipeline parameter next, link it to procedure parameter. What's the difference between SQL pool procedure and regular procedure? Very simple. Regular procedure refers to Azure SQL database. Okay, there's nothing but OLTP. It's OLTP. Whereas Azure SQL pool procedure refers to Azure SQL DWH. Nothing but the warehouse. That's the only difference. But remaining all same to same. Okay, next. From here, I'll put this one. Yep. Yes, here it is. Next, one more. When do you use ADF Studio and when to use Synapse Studio? Well, I had one nice comparative listing with me. When to use which and why. When to use which and why. So let me just take you quickly to my items here. I'll be showing you. I think I have my, just wait friends. Okay, I had my cheat sheet ready. I shall include that items anyway in our class notes. I'll do. Yes, I got it ready. And here it is on my screen. I'll include the items here like this. Yes, friends, on my screen. Please have a look at the things carefully. Okay, here we go. ADF Studio, Synapse Studio. Comparing both. ADF Studio and Synapse Studio both can be used to create pipelines. It works. And we use Spark cluster for debug and DIU for copy data activity. These are all the similarities. Then what about the differences? Let's observe carefully. In ADF Studio, we cannot create SQL pool. We cannot create SQL scripts. We cannot create notebooks in ADF Studio. Needs a dedicated staging container, nothing but ADLS. ADLS or regular storage container. And pipelines stored in ADF store. Right? Here it is. Whereas, if it is Synapse Studio, we are talking about the differences. I'll just paint it red here. Here are the differences. So we have the similarities, okay, like this. I'll just put this way, the similarities and differences. Yep. Synapse Studio differences with ADF Studio. In Synapse Studio, we can create SQL pool, scripts, notebooks. No need of dedicated staging because we have Apache Spark. Spark clusters will be used, Spark pools will be used. Remember, Apache Spark pool is again a cluster implementation only. Apache Spark clusters. And pipelines are stored in ADLS container or GitHub. Okay, these are the main differences. So you have similarities and differences on my screen. Next, I'll say here, please refer to the differences sheet. I shall include this Excel sheet in the ALG community anyway, the Active Learner Group WhatsApp community. Next comes, what are the various partition types when working with ADF pipelines? Please, everyone, can you point me, please? Partition types. Partition types in ADF pipelines. Please, can you try? Please, I'll wait. Fine. I'll make it straightforward and simple. We have round robin, hash, next fixed range, dynamic range, and key partition. Okay, next MPP architecture called massively parallel processing architecture for big data activities. I'll provide you one doc for this, explaining the features of MPP architecture. It involves something called RDD, DAG, part of my Databricks module classes. Something called workflows, Unity catalog, and other important terms. Combining together, I had one doc, we'll be sending it anyway. I'll be posting this as well along with the Excel sheet in the ALG group community. And what do you know about data warehouse units in big data? Yes, these are the compute units used for allocating, processor, and memory resources. Processor and memory resources. Not only that, the DWs are also used to allocate and index the storage capacity. So more the number of DWs, more capacity and more indexing advantages. Very soon, mostly by end of this month, I am planning for the AI integrations in this particular aspect, how AI helps us for indexing the big data. I'll be surely posting that event by end of this week. The schedule will be posted by end of this week about the time as and when we are going to have that particular interesting class. So let's stay tuned in our social media. Next, how do you compare ADF broadcast options and SQL join options? And the question I was mentioning there, not join types, but the join options, right? What are the broadcast options? Yes, we have left, right, full and none, 4 broadcast options for preloading the data into memory, Spark cluster memory. SQL join options are nothing but the merge, group, and hash. Those are the 3 join options. Now the question is, how do you compare? Simple and straight. ADF broadcast options pertain to ETL to preload data into Spark cluster memory. Whereas SQL join options pertain to database and data warehouse to preload the data into SQL database engine memory, right? For faster join operations. This mainly for faster joins and lookup activities. If you refer to the broadcast options, you will see them only in join and lookup transformations, not in other transformations. So in your interview, the answer should be straight to the point with keywords placed at appropriate place. It works. How do you optimize ADF pipelines? Yes, implement broadcast options. Always place strong point first. Always. Next, implement partitions. This is also another good important activity. Also choose the correct DIUs. I'll say choose correct compute. That involves DIUs, data integration units. Or sometimes, if not DIUs, it can be Spark clusters. Sometimes, not always, right? As per the type of data flow or copy data activity implement in ADF pipelines. These are the main items. Additionally, the optimization also includes implement ADLS staging and implement reliable logging and consider to compress the connections and the data. I will say linked service data. I request you, attendees who completed Azure Data Engineering from me, I request you to refer to the Data Factory and Synapse module carefully. You have more insights into these items. Please give it a try. Next, other important one, how do you use ADLS container during DB migration? Here it is, generate backpack file, right? Store them into ADLS container. Finally, import to Azure SQL Server. So without ADLS container, we will not be able to do export-import operations. Generating the backpack file means exporting the SQL database. Next. Then we have other one. When working with ADLS container, sometimes we don't see the option of IAM and ACL. Why? Very simple and straight. Here it is. IAM. We do not see this option for files, say folders and files. I request you to check it carefully. And other one, we have something called ACL, right? Access control list. We do not see this option for standard, right? Standard storage account. Applicable for ADLS account only, right? I mean, questions may be sometimes twisted. So we should be clear in giving our conceptual answer to the point carefully. What sort of activities you do next? If you, and how do you provide access? To provide the access, okay, here it is. To provide the access, here it is. Very simple and straight. We are talking about ADLS. Yes, we have to give IAM access. IAM access to your colleagues. Here it is. To your colleagues or others who have the Azure account, right? This one. And we need to give access keys to your clients or others who are outside Azure network. What does it mean? For example, a Snowflake user or a Power BI user, AWS user, Postgres users, they are outside Azure. We need to give them access keys or sometimes SAS keys. Next, what are the limitations of IAM, access control list? Very simple and straight. This IAM is not it's actually ACL actually. ACL. Yes, here it is. Limitations of ACL. ACLs are applicable for folders and files only. And ACLs are applicable for ADLS account only, not for regular storage account. Right? So these are the actual limitations. I'm giving you the answers from interview perspective. Maybe a phone interview or in-person interview. Make sure the answers are straight to the point. I shall include this Excel sheet, number 1. Number 2, the video for CI/CD. Number 3, the document for MPP architecture. I'll be providing you these details in our SQL School WhatsApp channel, the ALG channel, Active Learner Group channel. That's it from my end for today. Thanks for joining and meeting next weekend. And next weekend we'll be having Power BI interview questions and answers. We'll be having Power BI series for next couple of weeks. Yes, in case you want the interview series for any particular topic or specific technology, please let me know. I'll try my best to come forward to you and serve you better. Thank you so much and see you there next weekend. Any more questions? I'll stay back for some time before we leave for the day. Please, I will wait. In the meantime, I'll post all this content into my channel anyway. In the meantime, any questions, please let me know. I'll wait. Well, just now posted my WhatsApp, just now posted the content in my WhatsApp channel anyway. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you next week. Thank you. Have a nice time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Hey, Sai, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, my dear friend. Please tell me.
Hey, this is David speaking.
How are you?
Yeah,
Yes.
good. How's everything?
Great. By God's grace, everything is great. Tell me. Yes.
Nice, nice. Okay. So yeah, is there a way you can give me can you review my resume and then if you can just provide me a feedback? I took your
Sure.
Azure Data Engineering class.
Oh, okay, okay. Surely. Can we connect today at 10 p.m. India time, please? 10 p.m. India time. I'll be available. I'll be waiting for you.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna ping you on WhatsApp. Thank
WhatsApp,
you.
exactly. 10 p.m. India time. Okay, I'll be available. Sure, we'll do. We can connect on Google Meet. We'll do. Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir. Thank you. Yep. Others, any questions, please? I'll wait.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.